Alright, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Hopefully you can hear me. I suppose the purpose of this video is to practice sitting in front of a camera, because I have never made a video about any topic in my entire life. At all. Literally not once. So this is super awkward for me. I have no idea how to be in front of a camera. I honestly don't know how people do this. It's crazy to think that people just do this. It's wild. So I guess I'm making this because I really like creating things, and I have done video editing before, so I enjoy that. And I also feel like I can bring something to the world via personal finance. So I guess the best thing for me to do would be just to sort of tell my backstory, give you a little bit of background. Yeah, sure, let's do that. So I was born in Florida. I've lived in like 7 places, and recently I'm in Morgantown now at WVU. I studied pharmacy school. I also did the MBA program on the side, and I don't really intend on making any pharmacy related content because it's just not really, I just don't think it's super applicable to video style. I do work in pharmacy, but I suppose that's just not really the niche I'm interested in as far as making content goes. And I do have quite a bit of personal experience with finance. So like I said, I got my MBA. Man, I got to learn a lot of cool things in that program. And I think one of the biggest things I learned was that even people that are pretty like highly educated, so to speak, kind of suck at personal finance. Personal finance is one of those weird things that there really isn't any good classes for, or at least not at the time where I went through college. In my opinion, I think a good personal finance class should take place in high school. And I know I've heard parents talk about that, but at least when I went through high school, there's no personal finance class or, you know, extracurricular activity or elective that you could take. We didn't have that offered. So this style of personal finance videos that I'm gonna make, it's gonna be with the intent of making a seemingly complex subject as simple as possible. So I just want to dumb down things like, you know, how to make a budget, what is a credit score, how to get a credit card, you know, like how to actually go on a website and pick out the credit card. Not just what is a credit score or why should you have a credit card or what are the best credit cards, but you need to go to this website to actually download a credit card. I really think those basic financial tips that they frankly should have taught early in life, like middle school and high school. There's so many people that just have no idea. Like, even some of my closest friends, I could not tell you how many people I know that regardless of the size of their paycheck, they're spending all of it, every time. I mean, maybe saving 2 or 3%. So, you know, I know people personally that are making well over 100,000, and I swear they'll save like 50 bucks or 60 bucks. And look, I get it, you know, if one, saving money is not glorious, and there's no instant gratification, which I think is probably the big issue, is the whole instant gratification thing that this loop that we're all stuck in. That's a big one. I think that's a big one. I think so many people are so obsessed with short-term reward that even trying to save money and make a plan, make a budget, get into investing, you know, if it's not the next clickbaity thing like crypto, people just don't seem to be interested. You know, the old tried and true methods of saving 15% of your paycheck, or investing in a 401k, or making sure you have a good credit score and paying off your credit card every month. People just don't really do that. At least it's not popular to do that. And I think that's a real problem. So that's kind of what I want to make the aim of this particular channel about, is I want to glamorize doing the right thing in finance. So that might be through the lens of a credit score, or through the lens of saving money each month, or how to make a budget. And I do plan on making a video really soon on exactly that, on how to make a budget. I have a template that I made that I think is pretty good, and I probably made that maybe a year or 2 ago. It's really, really good. I mean, I will take credit for that. It's just a regular Excel sheet, and I'm gonna make a video about that maybe next week. And it's just a super easy way to, you know, track how you're spending your money and categorize things so that you can make a plan for it later. Anyway, I'll cover that more in a future video. That's not really the purpose of this. like I said, I don't have any particular topic that I feel like I need to talk about in this video. I don't have any goals or anything. I just kind of want to introduce myself and get comfortable looking at this freaking camera in front of me, which is still so strange. I think I have good ideas for content. I think I can make really genuinely helpful videos for people, but I think my biggest problem or challenge is just going to be getting comfortable sitting in front of the camera. I remember I had to take a public speaking class in it was my very first class I ever took in college, and that was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. We had to give like 4 or 5 speeches. I think we had to give 1 speech a week it was like a 6-week class. We probably gave 6 speeches, and every week it was freaking brutal for me, dude. There were so many people in that class that could just stand up and just freeball off the top of their heads and sound coherent, like they knew what they were talking about. I have never had that skill. Never had that skill my entire life. You know, if I didn't have a good plan laid out in front of me, I wasn't going anywhere. And I definitely still struggle with that, even 6 years later. So, I took that class when I was 18. I'm 24 now. So, yeah. But at the same time, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it would be, because there's nobody really listening, at least in the same room as me. What else could I talk about? Do you guys agree that there should be some sort of personal finance taught in high school? I think that's gotta be one of the biggest problems with our economy right now, and just people in general. I think that would help so much just to have a class that you had to attend in like 9th grade or 10th grade, just about how to spend money and how to save money and what a credit card is. Yeah, I remember in 9th or 10th grade, they had an elective that you could sign up for, and it covered, I think it was called Intro to Personal Finance. And it was going to talk about things, you know, just the most basic stuff that every human should know, like how to save a little bit of money and, you know, just what income is, what taxes are, that kind of thing. And because it was an elective, it wasn't in a mandatory class, so they actually didn't get enough people signing up for it, and the class never happened. So that was fun. And I guess that's why I think there should probably be some sort of mandatory personal finance class. Because what 15-year-old guy or girl is interested in personal finance? I don't know of many. I'm sure there are some, but it just wasn't something I cared about at the time. So I think if they made something like that mandatory, that would help a lot. But anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling about nothing. So, but then again, this video is really not for anybody but myself. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, or I might just set it to private and just like set it aside as something that I can come back to look at later. But anyway, like I said, this video is just gonna be all over the freaking map. But anyway, this is gonna be mostly about personal finance. That's without a doubt my biggest hobby. I have a pretty good paying job now that I was able to get, which was nice. I feel really fortunate with the job that I got, and I like it because when I get off work, I'm totally off work and I don't really have to think about work anymore. So I get to think about things like personal finance, and I get to do things like this, like sit on my chair in my room and make videos. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been wanting to make some sort of videos for a long time now, and I really like the editing process. I don't know how to make a thumbnail or anything like that, but we'll figure that out. Also, I'm just using a little crappy ring light, which you can probably see. Yeah, I'm sure you can see the reflection of the ring light on the picture behind me. That's nice and professional. But yeah, anyway, this video is just super informal, impromptu, kind of walking you through my thought process, and why I want to actually start a YouTube channel. I really think I can help people that have an interest in personal finance that don't want to overcomplicate things. That was definitely my problem when I first started to get into it, when I was like 17 or 18, and I would watch videos. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic creators out there, but a lot of the stuff is really complicated. You know, it's talking about crypto and algorithms and how to time the stock market and what is the market doing and inflation. And don't get me wrong, all that stuff is unbelievably important and useful and practical in a lot of cases, but I really don't think it would provide much benefit either. But yeah, you know, like I said, I'm really excited to start making videos. It's been a long time since I've even tried to create something just from a creative standpoint. So this would be really fun. Yeah, just leave me a comment or something. Tell me how your day's going or what you do for a living. and I will definitely respond to anything you guys write. I really appreciate you guys watching this video if I decide to make this public. This has been really weird. I think this will be fun to look back on in a couple years. So I have no idea if I'll still be making YouTube videos or if I'll just be working and grinding away at life. But hey, at least I made this, and that's more than I've done in 24 years so far. So gotta start somewhere. But anyway, if anybody's still watching, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and have a good day. I don't know how people do this.